Welcome to the Women in Energy 2022 conference breakout session, Become Your True Self. Welcome to the session. I'm so excited that you're here with me today. I'm Sara Armstrong with Idea of You Coaching, and it's my life's mission to awaken you to the innate power that you hold within so that you can truly unleash it. I work with individuals as well as teams to ignite your fire from within, to power up your impact so that you become unstoppable as you walk towards your success, whatever you define that to be. So I'm so grateful to the Women in Energy for aligning with me this year to bring this powerful session to you today. And again, I'm so grateful for you taking the time out of your day to join this session, whether you're doing it live in real time with us, even though you're in the virtual platform, or whether you're listening to this after the conference and you're catching it on the replay. Thank you for being here, and thank you for taking this time out for you to become your true self. So I'm the type of gal who likes to push the boundaries and live outside the box. So as we move through today's session, I invite you to join me outside of the proverbial box that we've been put in. And I'm asking that you allow yourself to be fully present within this session. So I'm inviting you now to open your ears, open your eyes, and open your heart to the message that I'm about to share with you today. So I want to start by saying, when I was asked in April to do this session at this conference, this is the description that I came up with. I know you're familiar with it because you've seen it, but for the sake, let's just read it again together. I described it as step into your sovereignty to own your power, no matter what life or the world throws at you. Chief of Energy Transformation with Idea of You Coaching, Sara Armstrong, that's me, will be leading a power-packed session to re-energize your passion for your career and what you bring to the table. Over the last 3 years, maybe you leaned in, maybe you leaned out. Either way, now is the time to recalibrate, reclaim your energy and your story to truly step up and step in to all that is waiting for you. Reclaim your sovereignty, reclaim your future to become your true self. Well, here we are 6 months later, and we are living and breathing in this conference, whether we're virtual or we're in person or both. We're 6 months later, and you know what I want to do today is probably going to be a little bit controversial because I want to challenge this narrative. I'm here today, 6 months later, to actually challenge the narrative that's the foundation of this conference. So again, that might be a little taboo, or you might be thinking, Sara, what the heck? What? You're going to challenge this conference? Yes, I'm actually sitting here before you today to challenge this. And what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is, what if I told you there was actually nothing that you needed to reclaim? There was nothing that needed to be re-energized, or nothing that needed to be reimagined or even recharged in order for you to be a success. I'm inviting you to step in with me, to lean in with me into challenging this narrative of the re. So before we jump into this exciting container that I've created for you today, I want us to just all take a nice deep breath together. So whatever you're doing, wherever you're at, whether you're in the car, you're at your desk, you're at your home office, or you're walking your dog, just take in a nice, deep, big breath. So just take a nice, deep inhale in and a nice, deep breath out. And again, I want you to take a nice, big, deep breath in and breathe out. And one more, the biggest, deepest breath you're going to take all day. Breathe in and just breathe out and let it all go. Let it all go. Just let it go and just be present in this moment. Inviting you to be present in this moment, to be present in this challenge, to be present in the shift of this narrative. And what I'm going to challenge you in is opening yourself to the concept that achieving your success doesn't actually require any kind of pain. It doesn't require struggle, and it doesn't even require effort. It truly is possible for you to truly float, float, float down the stream instead of constantly rowing and rowing and rowing down the stream as you're in your proverbial boat. So what would be possible for you if I were to ask you, if you could realize your success right now, right here in this moment, what would be possible for you? What would be easy for you? What would that look like for you? Because here's the thing, all of this reclaiming, re-energizing, reimagining, recharging, all of this and I'm guilty of this too. I've had so many sessions that I've said reclaim, re-envision, reimagine, restate. All of this is really not serving us. It's not serving us. And it's actually standing in the way of us stepping into our power. It's standing in the way of us owning our sovereignty. And so I want to start today's session by just challenging the narrative of the because here's the thing. When you look up what does mean in the Latin language, or what is, what's the definition of as a prefix? It's actually saying again, or again and again. And so here's the thing. When I hear and I think of again, or going backward, like there's nothing to go back to. There's nothing for us to go back to. Our past is our past and it's done. We can't go back and relive it. We can't go back and change it. The only thing that we can do is be in this moment, right here, right now, in this present, the present moment that we have. The moment where you are listening to me on this recording and I'm talking to you, the moment that you're in this session, in this present moment. That's all that we have. It's all that we ever have, and it's all that we can ever know. Because what I want to challenge you today is not only to rethink this narrative of, there, I just did it again, not to rethink, right? Like not to ruminate over and over on going backwards, because we're going forwards. We're going forwards together towards tomorrow. And so in that, I want to support you in owning your sovereignty, owning your power, so that you can become your true self. So when we think about we really aren't wanting to anything, right? Because when we go back, when we have to do it over again, we're just stepping right into the concept that Albert Einstein coined of, where he's so famously noted for, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So isn't it, when we try to reclaim something, when we try to re-energize, or we try to redo, isn't that us just feeding right into that insanity narrative, doing the same things over and over without success? So let's not anything. Let's move forward. Let's claim. Let's own. Let's take what's rightfully ours. That's what I want to step into with you today, because I'm not here to tell you how to reclaim your sovereignty. I'm here to tell you that you already have your sovereignty. You already own it. You already own your power. And what do I mean by sovereignty? Sovereignty is you having your own supreme. So sovereignty defined as your supreme power or authority. Supreme power or authority over yourself, over your life, over yourself, over your body, over your thoughts, your mind, your heart, your soul, your career path, your mission, what you're here to bring forth, who you're here to support, all the things that make you, you. Because here's the thing, we aren't going back. We aren't going back to change the last 3 years. We've been through the last 3 years. We've been through the pandemic. We've learned, we've grown, we've struggled, we've suffered, all of these things, right? But we're not here to live it again. We're here to move forward together towards tomorrow. And so what I want to say is, I think we've gotten it wrong. I think as a human species, we've gotten it wrong, because here's the thing. When we see that something's hard, when we go through hard times, like so many of us have over these last 3 years, through the start, like when the world shut down, and when we had to move from being in an office to being in a home office, when we had to have the kids come home from school, when we had spouses that we were then like coming back to, everybody's working from same place together. We're trying to homeschool. We're trying to run 2 different careers simultaneously. We're trying to keep the house afloat. We're trying to get groceries, like all of these things. I don't mean to revisit this past, but I want you to find and acknowledge, like, through all that pain, through all that struggle, through the struggle of loss of loved ones, through the struggle of watching others get sick, through the struggle and the pain of seeing others in struggle and pain, through losing jobs, through creating jobs, through building something out of nothing, whatever these last few years have meant for you, there may have been pain, there may have been struggle within it. But this is where I'm saying that we as a species, as human beings, we sometimes get it wrong. Because when we go through hard times, when we struggle, we often start to fall victim to our lives. We start to think, why is this happening to me? Why do these things always happen to me? Why does this keep recurring for me? And this is what I want to tell you today, my friend. These things are not happening to you. They're happening for you. These struggles, these pains, these challenges, these things are all happening for you. They're happening for you. Why? Because pain is inevitable. Pain is truly the only way that we're going to grow. Through pain, beautiful things are born. Through pain, we grow. Through pain, we learn. Through pain, we unleash our power. And yet, when we are in pain, we have to also recognize that being in a struggle as well is completely optional. Because here's the thing. Suffering does not require struggling. Struggling does not require suffering. It's a choice that we choose. And struggle is the resistance to the pain that you're feeling. So when we're in pain, we choose to struggle and suffer because it's what our society has conditioned us to do. We're at a pivotal point in our timeline, though. We can choose to continue to resist the changes that are taking place. We can choose to continue to resist the paradigms that are breaking down. We can choose to continue to resist the new way of being that is coming online for us. We can continue to choose to resist and suffer through these things, or we can just let go and we can relax into these growing pains, knowing and understanding that we're experiencing everything together towards tomorrow as a society as we navigate into this new world that's being presented to us. And each and every one of us, every single person that is listening to my voice right now, you are all working to create this new world, to create this new paradigm, to create this new future of tomorrow. We are all working, even if we're in our independent silos, we're still all working together to create our future, to create our tomorrow. And here's the great thing. We can do it better than it's ever been before. See, we were given so much power in the pause. We were given so much power in the pain and the struggle that we've been through over these last few years because we've learned, we've grown, we've adapted, we've shifted, we've uncovered all kinds of new and amazing technology. We've uncovered new and amazing technology and strength within ourselves that we now get to carry forward with us. And so I want to give you just an example of one of the most easily identifiable, because we all did this in school, we all did this in science class, but is this example of the age-old caterpillar morphing into the butterfly. So we all know that in order to become the butterfly, the caterpillar goes through a deep and profound process. So the caterpillar, did anybody read The Hungry, Hungry Caterpillar? That used to be a favorite that we would read to our kiddos. But you know, he like eats and eats and eats and eats and eats. And then he cocoons and he cocoons and he cocoons. And then he grows into this beautiful butterfly, right? It's the most simplistic way to explain it. But think about it. It's a deep transformative process. This caterpillar allows everything that it knew to fall away, and it completely surrenders to this process of transformation. It doesn't resist what's happening. It doesn't resist the struggle and the strain as it's pushing against its cocoon. It doesn't resist pushing against the cocoon to come out, because to resist is actually to die. If the caterpillar had resisted pushing and struggling and striving against the cocoon to break itself free, it wouldn't have the strength to actually fly. So just as the caterpillar transforms into its rightful path of the beautiful free butterfly without that pain and that struggle and that pressure that it felt, it would never fly. It would never be strong enough to take off. So what I'm inviting you to do today, I'm inviting you not to revisit your pains, not to revisit your struggles, not to revisit the things that you had to do differently in these last few years. What I'm inviting you to do today is to claim it. I'm not inviting you to reclaim it. I'm inviting you to actually claim it, to stand in it and to own it. I'm asking you to claim your pains. I'm asking you to claim all of the shifting that you've done. I'm asking you to claim the changes that you have made or that have been made for you in your life. I'm asking you to claim all of this. Claim it, own it. Own that supreme power and authority that you have over yourself. You get to own that. No one else can own your sovereignty. No one else can own your power. Only you can do that. So today I'm inviting you to claim your power, to claim and own it, because there's no we don't have to live it again. We don't have to go back to be the caterpillar because you already are the butterfly. There's nothing to reclaim. There's nothing to re-energize. There's nothing to recharge. You are charged. You are claimed. You are energized. Own it. You already are all of these beautiful, beautiful things. And so here's the thing of all of this that makes me different than a lot of people that you're going to hear from is I'm not here to tell you to go back and do it again. I'm here to tell you, you have it. You already own it. You've already got it. It's just a matter of peeling back some of the layers and allowing yourself to unleash it. So let's get into that. How do we unleash this? How do we truly step in? And now that we've claimed and we've owned our sovereignty, we're owning our power, our supreme power and authority over ourselves. How do we go together towards tomorrow to create the success that each and every one of us have on our hearts? Well, the next step in this process is you need to know and or discover your truth. So you need to know and understand what your personal truth is. And you might be wondering like, okay, Sara, this is great. You've just told me I can own my power, that my future is already here. My success is here now. And we're working together towards tomorrow. This is great. But what does tomorrow look like? What if my tomorrow looks different than her tomorrow or his tomorrow? What if my tomorrow looks different than my family's tomorrow? What if my tomorrow looks different today than it did yesterday? That's okay. That's okay, because this is an evolving and ever evolving process. And what I want to share with you is you get to choose your dreams. You get to choose your dreams. You get to choose your future. You get to choose your vision in every moment of your life. You get to choose your truth. And you are constantly able to realign, re-identify, and reclaim. There, I just did it again. You're constantly able, we're going to work on this together towards tomorrow to drop the because you're going to constantly claim, own, design, and envision your future over and over and over again. It gets to be your own. You get to change and morph it as you see fit. So knowing and uncovering your truth, what does this mean? Well, what is the success that you wish to create for yourself, for your family, for your career? You might be living that right now, right? You might already be stepping in, like you might have just taken the most amazing job. You might have just got the most amazing promotion. You might have just hit a major milestone for yourself, for your family. You may have just purchased your dream house or built your dream house, right? You may have just purchased your dream, whatever it is. You might be in that right this second. And that's awesome. That is so amazing. Congratulations and kudos to you. But I guarantee you, you're already looking, okay, so what's next? What's next? What's next? So I want you to uncover and discover your personal truth. Now, those of us that are in person, if you were at the conference doing this in person, we did this together. But if you're at home catching the replay, or if you're at home here in the virtual session, I'm going to invite you now to pause this video and go to ideaofyoucoaching.com recalibrate.com/truth. And you'll be able to create your own personal mission and truth statement at that location. So pause the video. Even if you created this with me live, pause this video again and go do it. See if it's shifted, see if it's changed. And this is going to be something that you can come back to over and over. So you're going to pause and go to ideaviewcoaching.com/truth. Okay. So now that we've uncovered and gotten in touch with our personal truth and mission statement, what do we do next? So we've claimed our sovereignty, we've stepped into our power, we know our truth. Now what's next? The next piece is we go into the dance of surrender. And I call it a dance of surrender, and it's going to be different than what you're used to when you hear the word surrender. I don't mean surrender in the sense of you're going to just sit back and just wait for things to happen and you're going to surrender, to the floor and like let life pass you by. That's not the kind of surrender that I'm talking about. Surrender is actually very active, contrary to what we might think. When we need to surrender to something, it means that we are holding the absolute faith and trust that whatever we're surrendering to is absolutely going to happen for us, that whatever that miracle is, that vision, that future that we want for ourselves, for our family, for our career, we have absolute trust and faith that it is there waiting for us to step into. But we've got to surrender to it. So now that you know your truth, you're going to surrender and align to it. So you're surrendering into it and you're allowing it to unfold. So instead of constantly, instead of not doing anything, you're going to actually show up and do some work, right? Because things don't just happen. Yes, you do need to allow and trust and have the faith and send your prayers up and do your meditations, right? And allow yourself to be and rest. However, when I talk about this dance of surrender, this is an action area. Okay. This is where, now that you know your truth, you're going to align with it and you're going to follow the dance. This is what I mean by the lean in and the lean out. So maybe you leaned in over the last few years, maybe you leaned out over the last few years, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about as whatever one resonates for you. But what I'm asking you to do in the surrender phase is I'm asking you to step in when you want to say yes to something that aligns with your truth. And I'm asking you to step out when there's something that doesn't align with your truth and you need to say no. So I'm asking you to lean in with your yeses and I'm asking you to lean out with your nos. So when we surrender, it becomes this beautiful dance of leaning in, leaning out and stepping out, right? Because once we know our truth, once we have that personal truth and mission statement, once you know what that is, you put everything into alignment with it. So if you have anything that is in your reality that is not in alignment with your personal truth and mission statement, you need to lean out of it. You need to say no to it. This truth statement becomes almost like your North Star of this is where I'm focused. This is what's important to me. This is my truth. Anything that is not within alignment with my truth, I'm not giving my time and attention to. Okay. So as you move through the surrender phase, don't act for the sake of acting. Don't do for the sake of doing. Every single action or motivation that you are going to take is going to be in alignment with your personal truth and mission statement. That's what I mean by the surrender. So every action and step, every yes that you're giving, every no that you're giving, you must first make sure it's in alignment with that personal mission and truth statement. And so once you've done these three things, you've owned your power, you've owned your sovereignty, you know your truth, and you understand surrender, the dance of surrendering, you're now going to lead forward. What do I mean by lead forward? You are going to lead. You are going to lead because we are all leaders and we can all lead in all different ways. We are leading together towards tomorrow, but we're not going to do it in the way that you think. We're not going to lead by pushing and striving and struggling. We're actually going to lead by letting go. We're going to let go and lead. This is where the magic happens, because you're going to let go and you're going to lean into your being that is in your power. And what do I mean by being? Well, your being is just how you be. Your being is where you're at in this exact moment. Your being is truly almost stepping into a void. Your being is, there's no work to be done. There's no effort that needs to happen, right? There's no pushing, there's no pressure, there's no moving. The being is you just living in alignment with your truth and allowing the path to unfold for you. So, what do I mean by this void? Well, this void is the new paradigm and it's the new way of showing up and doing. This is what I'm here to encourage you to step into, is this new paradigm, this new way of leading. Lead by letting go. Lead by letting go is where we are going to truly make the shifts into this new paradigm happen. So we're going to let go of that tight grip of holding on to, how am I going to make this happen? By when? What date? What goal? How do I force this to happen? What kind of pressure do I need to put on myself? What kind of pressure do I need to put on my team and my employees? Like, no more of that. We're going, instead of having our fists like balled up and holding so tightly onto what it is that we want for our lives, what it is that we desire, we're going to let it go. We're going to let it go and we're going to let it just flow to us. Because when we step into that, everything is possible. When we step into our being, when we step into the alignment with our truth, when we step into owning our power and owning our sovereignty, in alignment with our truth and in alignment with what we want to say yes to and what we need to say no to, everything just happens for us. It's a beautiful unfolding. And so as you become the caterpillar that's morphing into the butterfly over and over and over, because this is going to happen over and over and over, you're going to keep going through this cycle, right? You're going to keep claiming your power. You're going to keep knowing your truth. You're going to keep surrendering into it. You're going to keep leading by letting go. It's a cycle. It continues on and on. So as you continue through this cycle over and over and over, the resistance is going to lessen, the struggle is going to be gone, and you're going to effortlessly allow yourself to float towards your success. This is how you become your true self. Following this cycle, owning, knowing, surrendering, letting go, knowing, or owning, knowing, surrendering in alignment, and leading by letting go. And you're like, Sara, but how will I know if I'm a success? How will I know that I'm on the right path? How will I know that this is all unfolding for my highest and best good? How will I know that I'm on track for my promotion? How will I know that I'm on track for advancements in my career? How will I know that I'm doing the best for my family? How will I know that I'm living authentically into my truth? How will I know that I've become my true self? You're going to know because you're going to look for the signs, and the signs are going to be shown to you every step of the way. So just as you're going on your destination for your road trip, just as you're traveling down the highway towards your path of success, the signs are going to show up. The signs are always there. And when you know your destination, when you know your mission, when you know your truth, the signs are going to appear and show that you are truly on the right path. This is the path. This is the way. This is how we're going to move forward together towards tomorrow as you each become deeper and deeper into your true self. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been a pleasure and an honor. I hope that I've motivated you. I hope I've inspired you. I hope that you truly are in your power, owning your true self, knowing your truth, and you're ready to lead by letting go. I'd love to hear from you. Please send me an email. My email address is sarah@ideaofyoucoaching.com with any ahas or insights that you've had from this session. And also feel free to connect with me through any of these social media channels. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. And I thank you so much. I honor you. I am excited for what's to come for you and me as we lead together towards tomorrow.